do different types of videos every day. So today I'm off on a bit of a trek to Kilmarnock, which luckily I found the camera. I couldn't find it earlier on because there's a big boring bit in the way driving to Kilmarnock, which I always talk to the camera on. Break up the journey a little bit. So I'm going to see my pal Taylor, who has a Vox bass amp, which is all crackly and apparently sort of works but doesn't fully work. It's taking up space in the studio. So do you want it? Yeah, I'll have it. Yeah, so this is a chap that works at the Yamaha Music School. So I might do a wee bit of head mounted cam stuff. It was quite interesting going to Yamaha Music School, and he's got some sort of studio in the place. And then I might pop into Frentronics on my way home and drop off that PV amp, the 50 watt one, the one with the hot tubes. I've decided that I could just buy valves for it. I don't know how much valves are going to cost, 40, 50 quid, something like that, with the 2 power valves, and that might not be what's wrong with it, and I might, because there's something else wrong with it, I might damage those power valves. So if I take it into Ollie at Frentronics and just say, look, so you can check that it's not the amp damaging, because it might just be a dodgy valve. I did look it up though, the red plating thing, and the first site I came to said that 99% of the time it's something to do with a biasing something. I'll let Ollie do that. I don't mind taking the Vox amp to bits, trying to fix it to solid state. Solid state, no valves, no capacitors with a million volts in it that can kill you. So that's good. So maybe interesting. So I don't know where to put the bass amp. I suppose it might be better than my after the end one. If it is, then possibly, I don't know, well the after the end one's 150 watt Marshall. No, see, the thing about that one is I like that one because it's got exactly the same control layout as my big Marshall. You know, it's got a valve, a blendable valve, preamp and EQ, and like a master bass and treble, which is quite nice. I didn't know that when I bought it. I hadn't paid attention to it. That was the amp that I bought by mistake. I didn't buy it by mistake, I bought it knowing fine well it was 150 watt. I knew fine well it had a 15-inch speaker on it. In the photo it looked like a nice wee house-sized amp. When I went to get it, it's basically a full-size combo. It's the same size as one of the cabinets from a big amp. But I do quite like that amp. Also I put the band's logo on it, which I quite like as well. So I don't know what to do with this Vox. Assuming I can make it work. You might be seeing it on Facebook Marketplace for 20 quid, not working Vox bass amp tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. But I'll give it a wee shot when I get home. What else have I done this week? I finally got my puncture fixed in the car. It's like, yay! It's been like a year. I've been getting the wee battery pump out every month, once a month, something like that, maybe not, once every 2 months, pumping up the rear back left tyre because it keeps going soft. So I've now got that fixed. I've also got a tyre that's got a tread on it, on the front left. It's so much nicer to see having tread on your tyre. The car's just driving so much better. I was meant to get so look, I can actually take my hands off the wheel without getting catapulted off to the left hand side. I was meant to get I asked him to check the tracking as well, but apparently the track rod ends are seized, so they need to be heated up. The guy didn't have time. The guy was very good actually. I don't even know what the place is called. Broadcroft Tyres. It used to be called Broadcroft Tyres in Kirky. It wasn't the same guy I used to know. I don't know why I was always in there so often, but it was a guy I used to work with in Jerry's chip shop actually, one of the delivery drivers. His name was Alan or Andy, but I can't remember. Lovely guy. So that's that sorted. pickups, put 3 pickups in. Make a triple bucker out of it. I might do that. I can see what happens. Anyway, so I might see you down there, or this might just be a wee extras video shoved in. I think general will be alright. I'll be showing you a wee bit of a nosy. I thought I was going to his house. I thought, oh, take a video, guitar collection. Yeah, like just out of nosiness, everyone likes that. You know, would you like to see some random guy, not that I'm calling you random, Taylor, some dude in like his guitar collection of 30 odd guitars? It's like, yeah, of course I would like to. That'd be great nosiness, wouldn't it? It's always good when you see other people's guitars to see what everyone's got a slightly different collection, you know. It's like you get a lot of people that are just vendors, and then you get ones that like they want one of everything. So you've got, you know, like, yeah, that's what Blacktooth Fox is doing, you know. It's like, you know, you've got a Floyd Rose guitar, and he's got like a strap with single coils, then a strap with a bucker in it, and then a Les Paul, and then, you know, a Taylor with big humbuckers, a Taylor with light humbucker, you know, these sort of things. Which is fair enough. I used to be like that, but then it just came down to, I don't know, I kind of only really need one guitar. So I kind of tend to buy for a little bit on the collecting side, even though I do use them, you know. So I'm generally more likely to buy or keep a guitar for myself if it's from my Magic era, which is from Japan and from about 1980 to 1985, somewhere in there. Seems to be where I get my favourite stuff. Anyway, see ya, come on. Come on at car park. Give my text same here. That's me just parked the apps. The Dragon. Music school. Wait to get to come down and see me. Alrighty, how's it going?
Because it's me and Ron, and it's locked the door so no one bothers me.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll leave it out, I'll just go straight down. How's it going?
Ah, pretty good. I've got the camera on my head if you don't mind.
That's fine.
You've been a YouTube star.
That's fine. I'm not going to tell my girlfriend, I'll just stick it on the telly and get her a Friday. Nah, so I've just gone upstairs.
Cool. Didn't even need the sat nav. It's a big beast, isn't it?
It is. I can get an IEC if you want, I can plug it and have a go, but it was just a pal gave it to me and I plugged it in and it does make noise, but it just must, you know,
it could just be
servicing because it's just crackly as anything.
Yeah, if it's making a noise then the fundamentals work. Is my thinking anyway. Just being nosy now.
Just watch you might bang your head with the taller fellow.
Ah, it's okay. I think the GoPros are shockproof, so it should be alright. Oh. No, it's alright with the power lead.
I just in case you wanted to plug it in and blast them out.
Okay. It's actually quite a nice size.
It's not, I think I maybe I picked it up as
Yeah, it's not quite as big.
cable I found in there was hardwired, so it was like around the back end.
Oh, that was a tough early get up this morning, so it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was the morning and I was up. It's like, what? It's no right, I tell you.
Of course I can't get the tape off. Is there going to be a bit of that video where you walk into a glass door there?
There's a glass door?
The one down the stairs, I heard it kind of. I thought you might have thought it was open and both.
Oh, I didn't walk into it too much, you know. I gave it a wee prod, see if it worked. Working this afternoon then?
I teach at 3 o'clock.
Cool.
So I like to come in here sometimes and just get stuff done whereas, you know, not. See the guy that teaches drums that's in tonight? Hardest hitting drummer I've ever heard in my life. Absolutely. In my room's directly below this, so basically.
Oh, right,
just cannot compete with it at all. He's one of these guys I did sound for their band one time, and I put an SM57 on the snare drum, and then when I went to mix it I realised I'm literally mixing everything else on that stage to compete with that snare drum, so I just ended up taking out the mix entirely.
One of those guys.
He's also, you know, borderline deaf because he's
smashing
the hell out of the drums for years without any hearing protection, right? So there's, even that master pot just feels sketchy. I've turned the gain in the master down.
Right, so it's a good start.
Ease it up with.
You have to plug it on at the wall though.
Oh yeah, that does help. I've had. So I'm dead cautious around stuff like this because it just gives me the fear.
It's not valves, I don't think so. Hopefully it's not giving me the fear. Speaker cabinet. Made in England. Oh, cheers. TRBX.
When I kind of started here, that thing was not unplayable, but the action was you could have drove a double-decker bus under it.
Yeah, one of these.
Now it's been set up a wee bit better, so it's
just a truss run, is it, yeah?
No, I actually just did it all from the saddles.
The truss at the neck's actually a bit right.
Yeah.
Would have said.
I usually find the best one, and that's just whacking both pickups on.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's not.
Let's see.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good sign as well. How the LEDs reassuring. Effect level, so that's a push pull on an amp. Wow.
Pull on? Oh, is that been
Effect, I don't know.
What's the?
If it's the
compressor. Oh, is it compressor? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as you can hear, it didn't seem to like that. Oh my. Yeah, it's definitely that master part. Pull, or I think if you pull it, it kicks the graphic in as well.
Ah. Push pull pots like an amp.
But it's mad that.
Amazing.
But as you can hear,
I think it's just I'll just take the pots to bits and clean them.
Yeah, because it just sounds.
I'm sure I'll be able to get it better, and then it might be a case of a couple of quid for a pot, just swap it over. I can do that. It's just with the valve amps things, I've always got the fear of getting that the lethal shock.
I was just seeing if the magic slap worked.
I used to have a telly that did that. Yeah.
You can hear it has the potential to
make a noise, yes.
There's a Fender amp through here as well. Stage 185. 5, you know, the red knob one.
Yes.
And it's the worst distortion on a big amp I've ever heard. It sounds like a fucking bumblebee. But it's got a really, really lovely springy reverb on it. But on that one, it doesn't work. So you have to turn the amp on. You have a good slap on the side just to make the kind of thing kick in.
It's one of those things, contact cleaner, which cleans everything, might be able to sort.
Yeah, I've got some in my bag.
It just sounds a bit.
Magical stuff.
Yeah. I mean, without that stuff.
I had to go pick mine up for a cable bag that I left in the basement of the pub that I played in, around the corner, on Friday there. And what happened was, I got the contact cleaner out, it was the WD-40 brand stuff, and I was like, this stuff, miracle.
Yeah, I get the fear with that though, because I remember my pals has got it, and he was like, he goes, "Hey, don't put WD-40 in." It's like,
I was like, you know how WD-40 does everything? Well, see the stuff it can't do, this does, because you're not supposed to be knacking your electronics.
Yeah, no, WD-40 is like, yeah, let's just coat all the internals with.
But it was funny because my mate was like, "Oh, does it still have the smell?" And I'm like, "No, that's unfortunately, it doesn't have
the old, was it water displacement 40?
Is that it? Aye.
Yeah, it was designed as a waterproofing agent. Like for like your sort of Scotch Brite, or is it Scotch Brite? It's got a Scotch Guard.
Yeah.
It's maybe like that, and it didn't work. So they're like, "What else can we do with it? We've got this stuff." And then it was like, "No,
grab an end then. Or do you want to go first?
I can just carry this. I think might not be that easy going down. I'll just carry it myself.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just gonna be. I'll regret this in a minute. There we go.
I've recorded vocals in this stairwell. Natural.
Now get your man to play a snare drum at the bottom.
Oh no, it would go beyond John Bonham. It would be definite if he did it, man.
I was thinking Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh.
Lie to lie.
That was one of the crowd the other night. I'm like, what did they do? Just get like a session canon guy?
Righty.
It's not quite as.
Right, well, I'm going to taking a wee rest from this right now. That's just in the wee car park around the corner. Now I've got to decide: is it worth? Am I going to carry it, or am I just going to drive? It's one way there, isn't it?
It's a one-way system.
It's one way when you come out there, it goes right. So I'll just carry it.
What, hand down?
No.
You sure?
Okay.
Any worries, right? Like?
Cheers for that. I'll give you a shout once it's working and see what I can do with it.
It was Pal gave it to me, and it was in the, it's a big thing to having the project title in it.
It's one of those things, and it's like bass amps and guitar amps as well. When they get to a certain size, it's not an all valve £1,000 one.
Aye. Because I'm using Helix as well. My slogan right now is amps are for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which I'm only saying kind of tongue in cheek, but I'm using them less and less. So even with the recording up there, I just get the Helix, load up a kind of Vampeg modular thing, and then record the direct in.
Yeah, okay, that's the way it is now. I mean, gone are the days of taking your backlines and stuff. It's just like arty folk like myself sitting there lap here. No, I must have my
artisan
my soft tech. I need to have my valves and my 4x12 and.
It definitely saves you a bad back in the long run.
Yeah.
Not for the next 10 seconds.
Not for the next 10 seconds. It's going to take me more than 10 seconds to get in there, about 5 minutes. Cheers, Taylor. Excellent. Catch you later. Have a good afternoon. Yeah, I've recovered, carrying that thing to the car. And I'm convenient, just moving it from one room to the other. Be a little bit heavy when you're having to try and walk 100 yards with it though. Yeah, so I noticed that when I took the camera off I'd hit the angle, so I might not actually have got any of that video. I might have hit my head off the roof somewhere or touched something or done something. Okay, you don't need to indicate it roundabouts. Just go round, that's fine. Yep. So I think I am going to go into Frettronics and drop off that PV. I was thinking about it there. There's no point in having it. It's either I just sell it for basically what I bought it for as not working, or just pay to get it fixed. It's a nice size, 50 watt 1x12, and it does sound really good, so be a good gigging amp. More likely to be able to gig with that than I could gig with a wee Laney 15, but it's only 15 watts, it's got a 10-inch speaker. This is 50 watts, 12-inch speaker. If I was going to take a cabinet with me, then I could take the wee Laney or the Softech, but I don't know. It's quite like the idea. Quite the idea of a 1x12, 50 watt. Lovely. Yeah, so that bass amp, it's making a noise. I reckon it's just dirty pots. There's been a case of taking the front off it, just giving them a good scoosh. Would probably do it a world of good. I think the problem with a lot of these things is they sit unused for ages, especially something like a 100 watt bass amp. You know, it's like, unless you're playing bass in the house every day, you know, when you get a gig, you know, it only ever gets wheeled out for gigs, so it just sits there. And when the volume control hasn't moved for ages, you know, it just rusts round about whatever it's sitting. And hopefully I should be able to make it work. Because I've got a nice light up EQ on it as well. And an effects level, I'm not really sure. Oh, I wonder if it's some sort of effects unit in sort of thing on the back. I noticed there was it looked sort of like an effects loop, but I don't think it was. So it might do something like that. A77 Glasgow. That was a close one. I was almost going the wrong direction. Yep, so just back onto the boring bit of thing there. I've got some bacon jerky to eat, keep myself amused. We're going up the road. I do like that Taylor guy, he's cool. Quite a lot of, what was it, the same Pulp Fiction? Shit in his face. But hey, each to their own. It's like, I've got no piercings or tattoos, so I don't think they look good, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Maybe actually go watching Boba Fett mods, you know, like the mods, maybe get some modifications, get an extra finger for playing guitar, or maybe a super wrist for super fast picking action, maybe something like that, maybe do that. Rocket!